Roughly 10 years since the launch of its predecessor, Sony has just released the RX1R III, a compact camera that features a 61 megapixel back illuminated full frame sensor, the powerful BIONZ XR processing engine, and a fixed 35mm f2 Zeiss lens, all in a compact body that weighs less than 500 grams. So I'm sure you'll agree that this compact wonder packs quite a punch. Let's go and try it out. Before we get out there and put this through its paces, let's just go through some of the key features and some of the main upgrades from the previous version. The design is not dissimilar to the Mark II, though the top plate is now completely flat, so none of the buttons or dials are protruding outward. At the heart of the camera is a 61 megapixel back illuminated full frame sensor that is paired with the BIONZ XR processing engine, which is the same as you'll find in the Sony A7CR and A7R V cameras. This is of course a serious upgrade from the Mark II, which only had 42.4 megapixels. The autofocus system is greatly improved and now features AI-powered AF with human pose estimation, as well as 693 focus points. The Mark II only had 399. Now we've got plenty of other features to get through as well, but those are going to be best demonstrated out in the field. Well, Gloucester. I'm in Gloucester. Now, something that I think is going to go without saying, the resolution on this camera is going to be absolutely outstanding. 61 megapixels in a body like this is absolutely insane. This is going to be fantastic for anyone who wants to do travel photography or is on their travels and wants to document it. Some of the images you're going to get out of this are absolutely going to be ridiculous. I don't know about ridiculous, but the images are certainly impressive. Along with the high megapixel count, the sensor also features an anti-reflection coating and emits the optical low pass filter to enhance sharpness and contrast. It is clear to see when zooming into these images at just how much detail the RX1R III is capable of capturing. I don't actually have an Atomos with me today, so I can't actually show you a demonstration, but the display on the LCD and indeed the EVF auto rotates when you switch from horizontal to vertical, so all of your settings, exactly what you're looking for on the back of the camera, is going to be in the same place regardless of the orientation you're using. So that's quite a neat little feature. I'm sure you'll all agree that it seems a bit pointless coming all the way to Gloucester without going to see, right on cue, the wonderful cathedral here. That's what we're going to do now. Now, not only is this going to give me a great opportunity to test out some of the resolution of this camera, which we already know is stunning, but I want to test out some of the slower shutter speeds, because unfortunately this does not have inbuilt image stabilization. So I do want to test out how it goes when taking that shutter down that little bit lower, see how it handles it. Okay, so now that we're in here, let's try out some of the low light capabilities, as well as other stuff. I found that the camera performed well in low light up to a certain point. The f2 aperture of the 35mm lens allowed me to keep the shutter speed at a usable level in most situations, though I did find that it became more of an issue once I dropped below 1/30th of a second. One of the first things that stood out to me as soon as I started using the Mark III was the fast autofocus, and that's because it has AI subject detection. This of course includes human, animal, bird, insect, car and train, airplane, as well as an auto mode which works very well. And this is further aided by 693 phase detection points, which covers 78% of the image area. And it also has human pose estimation technology. This is particularly useful for locking onto subjects, especially when they're walking away from the camera. Very useful. Another thing I wanted to test out in here is a 35mm lens. Now, this is the same lens that's on the previous two versions, which means that we have the aperture ring on there, which is very handy for dialing in things manually. We've got the focus ring right at the front of the lens, and we've also got a macro ring. When that's selected, that lets us get a close focusing distance of as close as 20 centimeters. And I think this area here is going to be a pretty good way of testing that out. So I'm going to do that just now. It is safe to say that the RX1R III is great for macro work. The close focusing distance combined with the f2 aperture and high resolution allows for outstanding detail with wonderful dreamy bokeh for subject separation. Now, while we're on the subject of the lens, the 35mm restriction that you have might be a turn off for some. However, you do have a step crop shooting mode included in the camera. This allows you to select the 35mm, of course. By the touch of a button, you can go to 50mm and then to 70mm. Now, of course, all of this can be sorted out in post-production with cropping that way, but it's nice to have that little feature when you're actually out in the field, or Gloucester, as it were, to be able to actually frame your shot exactly as you want it to be. Shooting at 35mm gives you, of course, the full sensor, while shooting at 50mm produces a 29 megapixel image and 50 megapixels when using the 70mm option. Something I found particularly useful with the Mark III is the LCD monitor, the touchscreen LCD monitor, should I say, which also features a sunny weather mode, which is great in brighter conditions for seeing the back of the camera. This is particularly useful for dialing in the camera presets, which are 12 in all, including 3 new film simulations, FL1s, 2 and 3. FL1, 2 and 3. All of these are completely customizable, so you can dial them in to your own liking and just have them saved in there. Particularly useful. This can also be used for the crop mode that I was talking about earlier on, although you can actually, I've actually got that assigned to one of the custom buttons. There are 2 of those. 3 of those all in all. As I've already mentioned the monitor, I might as well talk about the EVF as well. We have a high contrast XGA OLED electronic viewfinder with 2.36 million dots and a magnification of about 0.70. You can also preview all of the aforementioned color profiles via the EVF to dial in the exact feel you were going for. So that's standard. This is neutral. Let's try vivid. Vivid. Yeah, then we got some of the film look. So this is film 2, a bit more washed out, a bit more of a bleach vibe to it, I guess. And then of course we've got black and white. I always like the black and white filters on cameras nowadays. They're just so good. Just gives you that nice high contrast, makes everything pop, at least pop in black and white. I think I'm just about coming to the end of my time with the Mark III, but I'm just going to try out some more of the AI subject detection. This is, of course, fantastic for street photography. So I'm going to try and get some street photography now. I'm going to put the camera away, or should I say the GoPro away for a while, because street photography is tough enough as it is, getting people to not notice you, let alone with a big GoPro attached to the camera as well. So I'm going to put you away now. Now, street photography is not something that I enjoy doing, but the RX1R Mark III is a perfect choice thanks to its compact nature that allows you to be more discreet, while the 61 megapixel sensor gives you more leeway for cropping in post, thus being able to maintain more of a distance. So I managed to get myself out of the hustle and bustle of the town centre there to wrap up this video. So who is this camera for? Well, the obvious standout of the camera is its resolution, 61 megapixels. It's absolutely insane that you've got that in a camera of this size. As a travel camera, I couldn't think of anything better. How many times have you been on your travels and you didn't bother taking your camera with you because it just takes up too much room, it's too weighty, and then you get there and you see these stunning landscapes and you just, why didn't I bring my camera? Imagine having this with you and you've got 61 megapixels at your disposal. Of course, you have the BIONZ XR imaging processor, and even though the lens hasn't been upgraded, it's still a fantastic lens. 35 millimeters, 1.2 aperture, f2 aperture. It's a great lens. It still works fantastically well. However, there are negatives to this camera. As I've already mentioned, the lens, you're stuck with that 35 millimeter focal length. There's also no inbuilt image stabilization. So if you were looking for both of those, then the A7C-R would be a much better choice. It's around the same price. It's not that much bigger, and it's, of course, you have the interchangeable lens system, and you have up to 7 stops of inbuilt image stabilization. So if that's what you're looking for, then maybe the A7CR would be a much better option. The RX1R Mark III is a fantastic camera for sure. How many other cameras this size have this much resolution at its disposal? However, whether it's worth the money or not is entirely up to you. There are other options out there, but if you can afford it, this is a fantastic camera. I would absolutely adore to have this for travel. It's just absolutely astonishing the amount of resolution you get out of it. It's crazy. So as always, if you require any more information on this camera, make sure that you click the link in the description. Subscribe if you don't want to miss out on future content, and I will see you next time.